correctly, but everything that has gone wrong has created like 17 more fucking problems for me. This has not
Well,
been a relaxing weekend. It's been a
oh
real
no,
pain in my ass.
tell me about it. I've been had to work 6 days. Well, I worked 4 days this week, because I had to drive to Pittsburgh, to and from Pittsburgh on Thursday to go to a viewing for my uncle because he passed on Tuesday. So I had to do a turn and burn, I guess is what it's called. I don't know. Just I had to go there,
Yep.
was there for like an hour, and then had to come back.
Damn.
That's how I
Today,
do dating.
today I had my daughter's graduation. So Friday was I had to be home, otherwise I would have still been in Pittsburgh for the funeral. But Friday I had to be back for the tent rental to be dropped off and set up. Thankfully, I was home because they actually came an hour earlier than what they said they were going to be at.
Those sons of bitches.
I mean, I was actually grateful because I actually had a bunch of other prep to do for the graduation party. So yay. Yesterday I had to work, and then last night I did a bunch of actually had to watch this movie. Thank God, because that was literally the only time I had to watch it. Today, literally from the time I woke up to about 5 minutes ago, was running around, finishing up the prep, having the graduation party, and then tearing down. I actually got done tearing down everything about 6:30, went and showered, and now I'm having my dinner as we're recording this.
Love that for you.
Yeah. Yep,
Sounds like
I'm
a
tired.
great time.
I'm tired.
Hi, tired. I'm dead.
Yep. But hey, you know what? Daughter graduated high school. I'm damn proud of her.
As you should be.
Yep, that's all taken care of.
They're going to college?
She is. She's gonna go to
Oh.
college for nursing, major in nursing,
Oof.
and minor in art therapy.
That's awesome.
So
shout out to my ex.
Yeah.
Specifically expressive arts therapy. So
but how was your weekend? Sounds like you had a bad weekend too.
fucking just like yesterday it needed to be like strategic execution, and none of it was going correctly, so then it was just like, all right, fuck it, we'll just deal with this shit right now, and then everything else I guess we'll just have to wait. So like I had a birthday party for my niece I had to be to at 2, which meant I had to get all of my shit done before that, because then I also was going to Albany last night. So I literally was going run all my errands, get it done as quick as possible, come home. It's also like humid as fuck here, so I must have showered like 4 times because my day started with walking to the gym and getting caught in a fucking torrential downpour.
Oh,
Sounds
dude.
fantastic.
Dude,
So
on my way back from Pittsburgh, I drove through three separate
Yeah.
thunderstorms. It was great. I probably
Yeah.
should have done this like less than the speed limit, but I'm like, nah.
Eh,
Speed limit being
Ah,
70
fuck
miles per hour. So
listen, your like traction control like works because you maintain speed. The
I
second you
do-
lay off of it, it's gonna fuck you. So
I said it is the 2025 Equinox. So like I'm probably smarter than
Your
Yeah,
average
but-
bear.
you'll be fine. It's got that AI in it. You'll be fine. So then I get drenched, then I'm trying to work out, so now I'm mixing like
Ooh.
my sweat with already being wet, and then I'm walking back, again torrential downpour, so like that pissed me off. And then I'm trying to go to the returnables, and then we have it's like called Clank, and it's like you have to put a sticker on the bag that has a barcode on it, and then you have to put it in the like receptacle.
Yeah.
And the sticker was like, because I keep them in my wallet, so it like fused to the paper it was fucking attached to.
Yep.
and I cannot get it off the fucking thing. But the kiosk to print more is broken, so I have to use this one. Meanwhile, I'm literally pissing my pants because I have to pee so fucking bad, and I'm like losing my shit because I didn't want to go into the like grocery store because it's at the grocery store. I didn't want to go in there
Because
like with the
you're
with the
drenched and
can and
sweaty.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm fucking just pissed. I'm just pissed. So I finally fucking got it off enough to like stick it, and then I go, and I do all my fucking grocery shopping, which was like $145 for food is like it's fucking nuts. Like weekly, that's nuts. I don't know, but I end up going like a running home. Then I have to go to the birthday party, which turns into like I'm the chaperone for all the kids on the playground somehow, while all the other parents stand around talking about their fucking kids. And it's like,
Yeah,
hey,
I get that.
nobody else finds it fucking weird that this like one guy that nobody knows and doesn't have kids is like having to
Watching over
like
the kids.
yeah, and like having to like help them go across the jungle gym and shit. Like they wanted to do monkey bars, but they couldn't reach. So I literally had to carry the kids across the fucking monkey bars. I did this for like 30 minutes and I'm just like, yo, I'm fucking done. I don't owe you fucking 4-year-olds shit. Like, fuck this.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it was fucking weird, man. So like then I was like kind of irritated and pissed because then I was like trying to talk to adults and like adults weren't fucking having it. And then I have to like run to Albany. So I drop my mom off and I fucking haul ass to Albany. And then like I'm going to the Warhammer store. The free miniature of the month is out, and I'm like, yo, I want the free miniature of the month, so I have to drive an hour and a half to get here. I got here. I'm with this other person who's like being kind enough to let me go before we go do all of our shit. And like they wouldn't give me one because they said their exact words were, yeah, we have about 50 of them left, but we don't have any boxes for them. And I can't technically give you one without the box.
How'd they get them in no boxes?
Because they ship them separate to make so they can fit more on in the ship cost. Because they'll just say it's like one individual sprue. So they'll send the sprue in a 1,000 of them in the box, which would take up like a bunch if they had put them actually in the box themselves. And then they send all the boxes like flattened. So the staff have to fill them.
Sure, but they could have just handed it to you. Fuck.
Thank you. That's what I said. But I think the guy thought I was a mystery shopper because I'm not a local that goes in there.
Oh, not a regular.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
What's the store called?
It's the Warhammer store by Games Workshop. Because they are so terrified of their own corporate, like they will get their ass reamed out if corporate found out that they gave me a model with it not in the box.
I mean, sure it makes sense, but at the same time, like,
oh, the fuck!
If it's supposed to,
sense.
if they're supposed to be giving those away for free,
yeah,
on that day.
Like on principle, I understand, and I'm not necessarily mad at that guy. But I also did drop $265 in your store while I was there, and bought a $4 fucking tote bag because I will be honest, it was a really nice tote bag.
Sure.
So like I can't believe.
Look, I bought tote bags
that much
because they look fun. Yeah.
I can't believe it was that much. Honestly, the fact that it wasn't like $8 was kind of surprising. It was actually the most affordable thing I've ever bought at a Warhammer store. So
is that including the 3 miniatures?
Yeah, honestly, because you got to like kind of buy stuff for them to give you a fucking miniature, which is bullshit. So then I go and I hang out with people and I watch wrestling for like a little bit, but I'm like tired and cranky and like not in the fucking mood really anymore. And then it's like 9:30 and I'm like, yo, I gotta go. I have an hour and a half drive back. And then like I'm driving back and I'm kind of pissed off and in a bad mood. And I fucking like micro napping as I'm going because I'm so fucking tired from the running around all day. And then like today, like it was just fucking chores day. So I didn't even get to relax. And then I'm putting a model together and I fucking dropped its arm on my rug and I have yet to find it.
Oh no!
I don't know where it fucking went. It's like it bounced into the fucking ballhole oblivion, and it's just fucking gone now. But it's the only arm that I had that works perfect for this model, and I'm just like, I'm real fucking mad about it. I'm about to crash out harder because in the process of looking for it, I knocked over a bunch of shit because God forbid I had enough fucking room in my life, and it's fucking bullshit. Brothers, sisters, gender resistors, welcome to another episode of the Comic Book Rundown presents Rundown Reviews. I am the very, very angry man who just told you about his weekend. And I got to fucking work on Monday after I requested it off because allegedly maybe my boss put in an order that I told her we didn't have the product for, but still put it in for Tuesday. So now I have to go in, which wouldn't have been that much of an issue, but I don't have my car. So I'm at the whim of my mommy to drive me to and from work. We watched Mandy. This was my choice for my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
And
Happy birthday
what
to you.
in the fucking LSD trip did you have us watch?
So, let me start by saying, I fucking love this movie, man. It is so ridiculous, and it progressively gets weirder as it goes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Which there's like reasons for it, which I didn't know. Like
You're supposed to be on LSD watching it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. Like, what you're following is actually the protagonist's like mind. So this movie is actually not. We aren't watching it play out as if we're a third person. We're watching it play out as if it is his memory of the things happening. Which happens at the bathroom scene. So that's when it switches. That's when the switch happens from us being third person watching a story unfold to we are cognitive things in his mind and we're watching it play out. That's why it kind of starts to get a little goofy.
Well, it starts to, I'm not going to say it makes sense, but it actually starts getting interesting.
Right.
The beginning was really slow. The beginning was very slow, but
well, no, that like
setting up. But I felt like it was setting up for a completely different movie than what we got at the beginning.
Well, and the very beginning was kind of like, I'm not gonna say I didn't know what was going on. I was paying attention, but I also didn't really understand. Like the beginning of the movie just made really no sense. Because you're supposed to, they're trying to make you feel something for these characters, for Nicolas Cage's character Red, which I don't think they ever said his name at all.
No.
Okay.
They never say his name.
They said, yeah, she did a couple times.
Did she?
Yeah.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the only reason I know it is one, because obviously I was looking it up on Wikipedia, but also I got subtitles on, so I always can
real
see
quick,
it that way.
Where did you guys watch this?
Amazon?
Yeah.
For free?
No, I paid for it.
AMC for free, yeah.
Oh, you watched AMC?
So I went through
signed up?
Amazon and then signed up for the 7-day trial, and then tomorrow I'm going to cancel it so I don't have to pay for it.
Good call. I watched it for free on, I think it's called Zumo Play.
Okay.
So it's like a Pluto, but fucking crazier because their blockbuster hits are movies from like the early 2000s to late 90s that they'll be showing all summer long for their summer blockbuster spread. Their other feature is that they have a bunch of game shows from like the early 90s or the early 2000s ish era.
Okay.
And then they make their own content movies made just for their streaming service. And I recommend everybody going and watching the trailer for The Wide West, which is about, I'm not really sure, but for some reason there's sumo guys involved, and it's a period piece in the Wild West, but one of the characters clearly didn't care, or they had to supply their own costumes, and he just kind of wears normal day clothes. It's real fucking weird.
Okay.
What did you say that
it's
was called?
XUMO Play is what it's on, and The Wide West is the movie.
Gotcha.
It was like a Hallmark. If Hallmark was going to make an action movie, that's what it was. It was fucking
Perfect.
weird. But I saw that trailer because I had to. You get the movie for free, but there's like commercials every 30 minutes up until kind of the last act, and then they didn't do any more commercials.
Because they already hit the quota or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched that trailer a billion times, and then I watched a commercial for some sort of buy, sell, rent real estate website that
Mhm.
was doing a parody of the Three Little Bears. That was painful. That was fucking painful because they just played it back to back to back to back. But I did get to watch this for free.
Sure.
I'm not entirely. Weirdly enough, they kept the majority of the stuff in, but there were scenes that I thought I remembered seeing that I didn't see in this.
Did you see Bruce Wayne's dad, Thomas Wayne, jerking off?
Yes, I did see that. Yep.
You see his penis?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Okay, then chances are you probably saw everything.
Yeah, I was at the gym when that happened.
Why are you always at the gym when the nude scenes pop up, man?
Because that's when I got time to watch movies, bro. Like,
Because that's what he's jerking his dick, man.
pretty much, yeah. I also, but I definitely remember the scene with the knife dick demon.
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah, with the knife dick demon, when he's in the house, I definitely remember there being bodies in the bedroom, and they were like old family or old people.
Yeah, I didn't know if those two were dead or not. They did show up. There were two people. He walked by a room with two people in a bed. I couldn't tell if they were dead because there was one guy with like, oh, you know what? That makes sense now. Yeah, they were dead.
Yeah, I think they got knife fucked.
Yeah, it makes more sense now because he had blood all over his ass. That starts to make more sense now. Okay.
Okay, so I definitely remember that scene from the first time.
Really, really rough night last night. Anyway,
I believe that, but I don't.
Apparently,
but I don't remember it in this one.
Okay,
and I looked for it too because I was like, wait a minute, where's the old ass? Where's the old people getting ass fucked? I was very confused.
Well, they didn't obviously show it, but like he's walking through the house.
Right. But it's very like intentional of like we know what happened there.
Well, I mean, I obviously I didn't because I didn't realize it.
Well, yeah. But once you see the bloody ass, and then you see the knife dick. Like,
yeah. I put it together. 24 hours later.
Yep.
Good for me.
Hey,
good job.
Honestly, Ron, I picked this one for you, buddy. Like, if there was a movie that I, thought you'd really dig, I thought it would be this one. So
I think that I would have probably had to have experimented with drugs to make this work.
Oh, that's a while.
I mean, this
is okay. So,
well, go ahead, Ron.
So, like, it's not that I didn't enjoy the movie. Like, it was something, but the first part of the movie and the last part of the movie don't go together at all. Like the setup.
Well, they kind of do.
Well, no. So, like, the setup at the beginning, like the how super slow it was, how like he's cutting down trees or whatever, and then he flies back home, and then
cutting down trees without safety gear on, mind you.
Well, and his chainsaw looked like it was like on its last legs. Like that thing was so unkempt and just like.
Maybe that's why he didn't have safety gear on, because he's like, "Oh, I'm good. This thing isn't gonna hurt me."
But that whole beginning up until the point where they abduct Mandy.
That's the thing, though. They don't ever actually abduct her. They're in their house when they're torturing them.
Oh, I guess that makes sense now. Yeah, but either way, when they break in and like attack them, like after that, it's a whole different movie.
Correct. Yes, 100%. I'm with you because that whole like this is what I was trying to get before. Like you're supposed to feel for this couple, like you're supposed to like. I don't know. You're trying to understand these two and feel their bond, and I'm just not getting that connection.
So she's a super duper introvert and doesn't want to do anything with any other people except for him.
Sure.
And he is
He's away all the time. It sounds like, or it feels like.
well, that's because she doesn't like people. I mean, so it works out great for them. But also, like, he just kind of goes with her crazy. Like, she goes on little tangents, and he just kind of tries to follow him, but doesn't really. But like, I get that they're trying to establish that.
I just feel like it didn't work though.
Well, that's because Nicolas Cage doesn't do like heartwarming and lovey. He does crazy LSD
I disagree.
blood.
Because I mean, some of his older like
Name 3.
Family Man.
No, he's not lovey-dovey in that.
Family Man.
I'm just fucking with you, Joe.
Let's see. What's the one where he has the paycheck or the tip where he gives it? What's that movie? He's a cop. He's a
City
cop.
of Angels?
No, not City of
No,
Angels.
he's an angel in that movie.
That's actually not a bad one either. But he's like a cop that he has a lottery ticket that he uses that as a tip for a waitress, but the lottery ticket is like the winning ticket, and that he actually goes through with the tip to the waitress, and then they fall in love.
Sounds made up.
I've never heard that movie. All right.
Oh, fuck you, bitches.
I've literally never heard of that movie, but all right.
You know what? Once I find it, you'll know it.
All right. So I find that interesting that you guys said that because like I did understand there, and maybe that's because this is the second time watching it now, but like I understand it because I think that he's just an avoidant attachment person where he doesn't really he doesn't know how to show emotion. He clearly lives in some type of like blue collar-esque upbringing and stuff like that because he's like
It Could Happen to You. Sorry, that's what it's called. From 1994. It Could Happen to You.
Oh, okay. So I've never
Never
seen
heard.
any of these movies that you're talking about.
Really?
No, I take it back. I've seen City of Angels. That was pretty good.
Okay. Family Man's a really fun movie. Family Man is basically It's a Wonderful Life, but with what's her name? Tia Leone. Tia Leone. There you go.
So it's an early 90s movie then, probably.
That one is what year is that one? 2000.
Oh.
The It Could Happen to You was from 1994 with Bridget Fonda and Rosie Perez. Okay. Yeah. Anyway,
Wow,
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, anywho. Did you know that Elijah Wood helped produce this movie?
Right? That was weird.
Yeah.
That was such a weird thing.
Is it? I mean, he's in Sin City.
I mean, yeah,
Kevin.
true.
That's a good point.
Yeah. He did Willard. Willard's a really fucking weird show.
That's also a good point.
Joe, okay. I was like, dude, Willard was
Wilfred? Willard. What's that show called?
Willard was with Kristen Glover, I think.
No. The TV show. Where he has an imaginary friend that's a dog.
I think that's Wilfred.
Is it Wilfred? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. That's just fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like, I think Elijah Wood is a weird dude, man.
I mean,
he made so much fucking money off Lord of the Rings that dude has literally never got to do anything.
I think the first thing that I remember seeing him in was the movie with Macaulay Culkin.
Not good son.
Good child?
Good.
No, it is a good son.
It's a good son?
I think so.
Okay.
I never saw that. Is it good?
I mean, it was interesting. Macaulay Culkin's a psychopath.
That's fair.
But anyways.
So like their relationship to me makes a lot of sense. They are two people that were designed to be together, right? He's kind of an avoidant person who's kind of blue collar and doesn't really know how to express his feelings. So he doesn't really talk all that much. He just listens. She is an extroverted introvert in the sense of when she finds a person that she can connect easily with, she attaches and she has a very anxious attachment to that person, but hates everybody else around them.
Okay.
So the idea that these two are actually designed to be together, while it may not be the best fairy tale story couple, they actually make a lot of sense because their attachment styles complement each other really, really well. I think what they were also trying to do by the fact that he like sits there and like listens to her and tries to figure it out, that is how he shows his love for her initially, and like how she accepts the love is like he's trying to understand who I am, and I am a kind of a crazy person who doesn't make a lot of sense. And she has all of these thoughts and has no way to express them to anybody else. So he becomes kind of the only outlet for her.
He's that not springboard. Not springboard isn't the right word. Message board? No, that's not right. Maybe it is springboard. He's basically the he's the outlet, like you said. He's
Yeah. So
no, I get that. I understand exactly what you're saying, and the way you're explaining it makes sense to me. I didn't get that because this is my first time watching it.
Right.
I didn't come through. Now, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy this movie. I actually did like this movie a lot. That beginning part, without, I don't want to say that knowledge.
With the context of the rest of the movie, doesn't make a lot of sense. Yes, that I will agree with.
Upon a rewatch, I think I would enjoy it more. Honestly,
it would probably put
it
together.
Probably would go higher. Like don't get me wrong. Like my ranking, I feel like my ranking is pretty decent.
Right.
Upon a rewatch, I think it could potentially go higher.
Sure.
Because I would have a little more understanding of the movie,
right,
of what's going on. And
there's a dick knife, so there's that too.
And I understand what the dick knife did earlier in that.
Yeah. So anyway, so then they like, and then we introduce, and it's interesting how the three acts are kind of put together, right? So there's like kind of just the opening credit scene, and then there's the Children of the New Dawn, which is the cult.
I did like how each like section of the movie had its own like little title screen.
Like title screen, yeah.
And the fonts like that they chose was like very 80s, which is when it was supposed to take place.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it was 83, which was nice.
Yeah,
kind of cool.
And what was really cool about it is like, so like the Children of the Dawn's title, the Children of the New Dawn's title is very like 80s, kind of almost mosaic in a way. I don't know if mosaic's the right word, but like kind of mellow, right? But they haven't done anything to them yet. They have not. This is like when they see her on the path, and Jeremiah, who's the cult leader, is very much like a atypical cult leader in that he has been denied and was privileged and all that shit growing up. Mm-hmm. And now he's just become this man who thinks he just deserves everything that he wants.
Yeah, he will not take no for an answer.
Correct.
And you tell him no, he will fuck you up.
And he's just been taking so much drugs that it's just warped his mind into thinking that he is a vessel to God, and God is telling him he can have whatever he wants.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said earlier, it took me a minute to recognize him.
Yeah.
And he's Thomas Wayne from the Dark Knight trilogy. And I think I actually have written down that Thomas Wayne really fell far after being shot, ironically, by the chemist from this movie, which is also kind of fun.
Oh, he was Joe Cool?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Hey, head over to our TeePublic and get that shirt.
I was just talking about that shirt today with Brian at the graduation party.
Nice.
Yeah, so then like I don't know, I just love this movie because it is like this like kind of weird like cult movie.
It's like a problem I also had though was like there was a lot of like back and forth flashing of colored lights even before they start doing the LSD and stuff. Like when they're in the bedroom and like the light keeps switching from red to blue to red to blue to red to blue, like that shit just kept fucking with like my paying attention to what was going on.
See, that's interesting because I love how this movie is shot and specifically how it's lit because color in this movie means a
It
lot of
meant something.
things.
Yes.
Yeah. The blue is them. They're the calm blue. And then the cult is the red. Anytime the cult is on screen, where they are in power and in control of like the scene, everything's lit red. Which is why it was interesting at the end of the movie. I guess it was the
Third act.
chemist technically. In the third act, where things start to go from blue, or I'm sorry, from red to purple to blue. And when he fights the chemist, it
Well,
is purple.
he never really fought the chemist. He just
Yeah.
came to the chemist and they had a conversation.
Well, who's the guy that he kills with the chainsaw?
That was the muscle.
That wasn't the chemist? Oh, that was
No.
the chemist.
The chemist had the tiger.
Yeah, the chemist was
yeah.
the chemist was the one that told him where to find the guys.
Yeah. Go
Right.
north.
That's
Also, so when he's killing the like the demon guys, and
yeah, I always my one gripe about this movie is
the
I can't.
BDSM biker gang. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't actually figure out about this movie. Are they just really fucking into what's happening, dudes who are tripping on LSD so much that they are kind of immortal? Which
So
I know is like a feature of LSD.
what the dude from Predator says, is that
Mac.
yeah that Mr.
Yes.
Is that they got bad LSD one time, and it fucked up their minds so bad that they really believe that they are like these monster demon things.
And that they like the pain. Like they always like they want pain. They like pain.
Yeah. But my question about that is when he gets when he's in the fight with the first one that he fights,
the one that he shoves off the
and the blood goes all over. Like, does he start tripping because there's so much LSD in their blood that he swallowed all of that?
No, because as soon as he's done fucking messing with the
So you actually do have to be careful about saying fucking in this movie because there are knife fuckings.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the knife penis guy, he walks over to the kitchen area, grabbing all of his stuff. And
and then he does like a whole spoonful of Coke.
Yeah. And then
he also tastes a jug, a jar. He finds a jar of LSD.
That's the. I'm trying to remember. Is that when the guy pops back up and he attacks him before he goes?
The guy that he knocked into the pit shows back up.
Was it before he goes over to the jar, or is it after he goes over to the jar?
After he goes over to the jar.
Okay.
Yeah, he's getting ready to leave, and then he shows back up.
Okay. So then, I mean, could we get a double dose of LSD? Maybe. Who knows?
Well, because he started going crazy, as soon as that dude's blood hit his mouth, he started wigging out.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's blood. He's getting a bloodbath. He has psychologically seen some shit up to that point.
But also,
we have to remember that the movie takes a really hard turn and why it goes crazy because he watches his wife get lit on fire alive in a sack.
Yeah.
In front of him. And that breaks his brain.
Which also, they tell her, if she cooperates with Jeremiah, then Red, his name is Red, that he'll be fine. But if she doesn't, then they're going to fuck him up. And so she doesn't cooperate with him. And all they do is just stab him and then leave him for dead, but burn her alive.
They were going to psychologically fuck him by making him watch her burn alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also...
Thank you for clarifying.
When she said she saw the Reaper coming for him, I didn't realize she was talking about Red with a crossbow.
Yeah.
And then when he forges that axe...
Yeah. So that's actually Mandy. The axe is called Mandy.
Oh.
Well, it's aluminum. That he's pouring into that mold, that's actually aluminum that he's pouring.
According to IMDb, they said it was tin. And then when it was done, it was steel. So it's wait a minute.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say was that it started off as an aluminum and then it ended up being a
steel
solid,
axe. I was very concerned. Well, first off, when he was done making it, I'm like, that looks like the axe from Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show. Looks very similar to it, which I'm like, that's kind of cool. Secondly, though, when he is going after that first biker or whatever, because they have bikers.
You mean the one that flips his truck?
Yeah. Like as soon as that happens, I'm like, oh, so that was a waste of all of that time and energy because now he's captured. I knew he was going to get away, but it's like, hopefully he gets his shit back because you just made this weapon that you're never going to be able to use.
Yeah.
But he does. He does.
Yeah. I just didn't understand how hitting that dude flipped his entire car.
No, he didn't hit the dude. The dude like shot out his tire or something.
No, he hits him like he's laying in the road and he runs into him and that's what flips his car.
No, I don't think that is.
Yeah, because after he knocks him off the bike.
I'm pretty sure he stood up and like was firing at him. Like he shot something at him.
I don't think so because I have it in my notes that hitting the guy flipped his truck over.
You know what? I still have it on my Prime. I'm gonna check it out real quick.
Well, you should do that.
Yeah. So wait. So one thing that I got confused rewatching this is I thought there was only 3 demon dudes. Were there 4?
So
I thought there were 3 because
so there were 3 at the like little meeting at the beginning when the dude plays the weird ocarina.
Yeah.
Then there was because there was the first.
But then there's 4 of them riding the bikes.
No, I don't think that is because I think the guy that he shot that got knocked down was the guy at the end that whose head he's cut off.
Right, but that was 9 Inch Nails,
which he shot and knocked off the bike that he tried to run over but didn't. He shot and that whatever gun he shot to blow up his car or his truck that knocked him off. You had Knife Dick.
Yeah, Dick.
And then you had
Skin
Skull
Face
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the 3 you had.
Then who's the guy that he fights at the end?
That was the first guy.
So he doesn't have nails all over his body anymore? He doesn't have nails on his body at all.
Okay, yeah. See, that's what I was saying with Chuck was that like I thought he killed that dude, and I thought there was another one that just showed up. Unless it's the first one because the first one that he fought, like when he actually like kills him and gets some blood in him, like that dude's like fucking gone.
Yeah, that dude's dead. That was Knife Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there was 4. I think ultimately there was 4, but we were only introduced to 3, and then the 4th one shows up. And I think the 4th one is like the leader.
Because when the 4th one shows up, because I was like, what the fuck? Like, where did this guy even come from? Like,
yeah. So I don't know. It is interesting. I thought they were cool. And I like the idea that they're like these, which would make sense if they were like supposed to be the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Because there's 4 of them, they're riding motorcycles. If these are like Jeremiah's horsemen, which is like kind of what they are implying that they are
to be.
Yeah.
So did Jeremiah come off as like a Homelander type of character to you? Like when he starts talking about like everything's his, and then he like starts jerking off at like whatever, like that was just like, oh, it's Homelander.
I think he starts jerking off because she laughed at him.
Yeah, she laughs at him because his penis is so small.
Well, yeah.
Well, granted, I also think he jerks off to gain like power or control over like his fear or something, because he's also jerking off at the end.
That's true. He is.
Yeah.
But like, but he was expecting her to suck his dick at that point in time.
I think
so.
They
were. Well, he was expecting her to be like enamored and fall in love with him and worship him.
And that didn't happen.
And it didn't happen because she
has a brain.
Yeah, kind of. Like she's just ultimately really smart.
she's like, yeah, dude, like enjoy dying when my husband comes and kills you. But but also going back to like the beginning when like she's talking to Red about her dad making the kids kill baby birds.
Okay, you know what? He did run him over.
Ah!
Still, this one more on the kill count there.
But
But that was the spikes. That was the spike.
That
guy.
was the spike guy, yeah. So there
So
was
that would make
4.
sense why it flipped his car then, because it would essentially be like running over a nail strip and blowing up the tires and make his car
but like
flip.
it didn't flip his car like blow up the tires. Like he hit it like this, and it flipped his car up and over. Like he hit him like a ramp.
Yeah, it was going really
Well, I
fast.
hit him on one side. So if you hit him like the car's coming at me, and
Yeah,
it's
if he
just
only
on the
hit
one
half of
side,
the tires, he would went up and over.
Sure, but what would have happened there was it would have rolled his car, not jumping it like a ramp and then flipping it over. You know,
Ron, there is a man with a knife dick in this movie, and we're trying to make the physics of a car flip make sense.
yes.
All right, okay. I'm just making sure we understood all this.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Fuck. What were we talking about? Oh, in the beginning. Right. So the point of that story is to establish that she is not
A killer.
that she's not a killer, and more importantly, she does not follow trends. Essentially, that story is a metaphor for what Jeremiah is,
Yeah.
and that they blindly follow whatever the instruction is, and that she does not do that, and she is scared and she runs away. But in this case, she laughs.
Another question I have for you is the old hooker that's with Jeremiah
Yeah,
Sister Lilith or wherever her
that
name
he
was.
just treats like absolute garbage.
yeah.
Like I need backstory on why she is so enthralled with him and didn't just slit his throat like at any given time.
LSD, man. Also,
Drugs? Yeah.
Colts are. There's a reason why Colts are the way they are.
Yeah. He had probably at one point made her feel very loved and special.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. Yeah.
Also, fuck Ronald Reagan.
Well, yeah.
I saw him
Yeah.
somewhere in this movie, and I wrote it down.
I believe they talked about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a scene. So the scene where Jeremiah is talking to Mandy.
Yeah.
Like right after she is, just before the whole, him opening up his robe and trying to get her to suck his dick. And the scene, I don't know what he was talking about, but basically she's all drugged up and he's yapping away.
Oh, he does the monologue?
Yeah. And the scene itself, the way it's going, it's morphing between
Him
her
and her
face and his face.
Yeah.
And like that was actually pretty cool.
It was wicked as hell how they did
Yeah.
it. It was trippy as
Like
fuck.
because it worked. I liked it.
They had very similar faces too. Though.
Yes.
Weird.
Yeah. It's interesting because when I first watched this movie, I did not notice that. It wasn't until I was reading about the movie that they and they explained how they shot that, which is essentially they just overlaid
it. Yeah.
Yeah, just the shots and stuff and just ran it through. But it also explains why when it's her face, the lips aren't actually moving, which I thought was really interesting. Yeah, I think that's a really interesting scene that probably was actually super easy to shoot, and more people should do it for weird, trippy stuff.
I mean, because honestly, the same scene. Actually, you could just do it once. Lighting same room, 2 cameras, person here, and just record both of it, and then just overlay it on top of each other. It's really probably super simple to film.
It
was just a really cool scene.
Yeah, and it plays in more to the fact because essentially that was supposed to be from her viewpoint, right? Because he is in her face telling her this, so what we're seeing is her tripping balls.
Yes.
Yeah.
That whole scene was about her tripping balls.
Yeah. I love the fact that she points out, even while tripping balls, that he had this fucking song written about him,
right?
And how fucking terrible it was. That was really funny.
That was him. He wrote that. He sang it.
Yeah.
That was his.
He tried to say it was the Carpenters, right?
No, he
well,
said
if
he
you
was better than the
the
Carpenters.
Carpenters, yeah, that it was so good. Like if you love the Carpenters, you'll really love this.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought he
Yeah.
said I thought he said this was the Carpenters and that it was a song about him that they wrote
No,
about him.
he
Okay.
wrote this. Yeah, no, he wrote the song. That's why she starts laughing at him. She's like, "Wow, you wrote the song about yourself. You're so pathetic."
Gotcha.
The cartoon like segments of this, like when he's like, I don't know if he's tripping or what the hell is going on, but like when his undead wife, is in a cartoon and like,
her face melting and then like
Yeah.
her ripping the heart or whatever organ out of that beast.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was supposed to be like a scene from the book that she was reading,
Oh yeah, I didn't put that together.
but he wasn't there when she was reading that book.
That's not to say he hadn't read the book though.
It's
He
not to
may
say
have
that she
known-
probably
Fred
hasn't
didn't seem
told
like a
him.
reader.
No, but she's probably chapter for chapter explained to him what's happening in this book.
And he's probably seen her read the book before, obviously, because she's carrying around a lot.
Oh, but a whole nother subject. After that dude stabbed him through his side with like a fucking 8-inch blade,
Yeah.
how did he not just bleed out and die before he woke up?
Agreed.
LSD.
I don't know what a lopsided dick has to do with anything.
Helps the blood flow.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, helping the blood flow would be the worst thing you can do when you're bleeding.
No, it slows it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For him to get an erection with a lopsided dick, it sends all the blood there, so it's not leaking out the side of him.
Gotcha. Now that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
How hot does a fire have to get to turn your bones to ash?
A lot hotter than they would have been able to get with gasoline in a sack.
So I thought.
Yeah. See, when that first happened, I thought that they had just fucking like did that to like psychologically fuck with him, and that they had actually.
I remember her not being. It's not actually her. That's what I remember in that.
Oh.
From when I first watched it,
Okay.
was that it wasn't her, and she was actually still alive.
See, that's what I thought was going to happen. Also,
and then as I'm progressing the movie, it's like, oh wait, maybe that is how she actually dies. Because I swear I remember her being in the church, and and she was like sacrificed or something. But I don't know I don't know. It was weird. I also remember him taking the cross out, and he puts Mandy in that holder. Did they cut that scene out?
I don't.
He does it.
Seeing it.
Oh, okay, because he does it right before. I thought he does it right before he goes down the stairs, but then he wouldn't have been able to cut the lady's head off. So
Yeah.
Nope.
all right.
The part where he's like, "You ripped my shirt."
Oh my god, that's like the most Nicolas Cage.
That was my
like,
favorite shirt.
Yeah.
I
I mean, to be fair, they've taken everything from him, and now they took his favorite shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, and you
Yeah.
find out why it's the favorite shirt at the end, which
Yeah.
again
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally fine. Also, this movie came out in 2018. I remember hearing about this movie. I remember wanting to see this movie when it came out. Never got a chance to, obviously. But the one thing I do remember from this movie was the Cheddar Goblin commercial that was all over the internet in 2018, and seeing it on TV or seeing it on the TV in the show, I'm like, holy shit, the Cheddar Goblin! Forgot about the thing. So that was kind of fun to see.
Yeah, Cheddar Goblin. That was originally that was an original thing for this, right? That
For-
wasn't like
yes, it was for
okay.
this movie. Yes,
All right,
that's why.
I wasn't
That's
sure
why
if
I
it
was
was like
really
a
surprised.
creepy old commercial they found.
No. It was
Oh.
for this movie specifically, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing for this.
Yeah,
I didn't
the
realize
goblin
that's
just
where it
vomits
came
cheddar.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
all over these kids. It
Yeah,
was great.
I think the movie that they're watching, it was also made for this movie. Like
I think you're right.
no, well
Oh.
maybe that, but also the invader showing up and like laser blasting people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I did count those as deaths because it was in the movie.
Yeah, they were on the TV. Yeah, it counts.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have little note here that just said Nicholas Cocaine, which we covered already because
Yeah.
Yo, he snorts crazy style. The amount
but
of cocaine.
I think that was real.
Yeah, he
Very good
Jean-Claude Van
chance.
Damme Street Fighter level of doing coke during this movie.
And he didn't even have to dye his hair blonde.
Nope. Good for him.
Also, during the chainsaw battle, like, how did his chainsaw get there?
Was that his? I thought it was just a random
that
one.
was his. No, I think that was his chainsaw from the beginning of the movie.
I think they took it. They just they took whatever they wanted. They ransacked the place, his house and
Gotcha.
stuff.
Because he
Okay.
sees it sitting there and he picks it up, and
Well, that explains why I wasn't starting.
told you he didn't take care of that fucking thing.
This would be if we had a nickel for every time that we watch somebody die horrifically from chainsaws on this show.
Oh, dude.
We would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it is weird that we've watched 2 different movies in the same time frame that people have died horrifically from chainsaws. Oh no, 3.
Only 2. Yeah, I was gonna say. What about Evil Dead?
That's what I was thinking. We had Evil Dead.
Yeah.
We had Evil Dead and The Evil Dead.
That's 2.
Dawn of the Dead. They have the chainsaws on the side of the
bus. That's right.
Yeah.
And the side of the bus and that fault, like the dude,
Yeah.
I don't understand what the hell happened. I don't remember because it's been a while since I watched that. But why the dude falls through with the chainsaw and then starts cutting everybody else up?
I think he got either they crashed into something. He fell back, if I remember correctly, and something happened. He fell back, and it just started.
Oh yeah, he takes out the slut. Yeah. I meant that in a nice way. Yeah, so that's a lot.
That's a lot.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
4 in about 4 months.
Give or take,
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
Well, I mean, I don't actually know
it's
when
why
you
this
guys
happened that
watched
much.
those movies because when you watched them and when they came out, it's 2 different stories.
At time of release, it will probably be right around this movie. So
Actually, yeah, in about a few weeks.
Yeah.
I gotta get those edited still. Also, yeah. So I got a couple more things here. So he rides in on those. It's not a dirt bike. What are those called? The things that the biker gang. Crap. What are those? Not mopeds. It's not motorcycles. They're like dune buggies. No.
A dune buggy is like a 4-wheeled vehicle.
Yeah, it's a 4-wheel.
A 4-wheeler?
Thank you. Wow, my brain is fucking dead. So he's riding the 4-wheeler to the church. And he gets stuck in a little mud trap.
That's the most Chuck thing you've ever done. Holy shit, dude.
Those things with 4 wheels.
It's been a long week. And it's gonna be a long week again for me. I've got so much I have to do this week. So he's riding the 4-wheeler and he gets stuck in that little mud trap. And it's not a car. You can literally lift it out of there and keep going, dude.
It's almost like they were specifically designed to do that, but
yeah,
it's weird.
I don't know.
Look, he's never ridden one before, okay, guys?
And also, why is the blood on his face? Why does it look like it was never dry? It looked wet the entire time after
sweat.
3 days. Okay, that could
corn syrup.
Well, yes, but I don't know.
It's because they had to keep reapplying it as he went, so it didn't, stop being there.
But he took he stopped for the night after getting stuck in the mud, and he looked like he went to sleep, or maybe even cleaned himself up a little bit. But the blood was still there, all wet and sticky.
Maybe he was bleeding.
Could be.
I don't know.
Maybe he reapplied when he woke up.
I mean, after he was done, he definitely did go and have a couple more kills. I will say though, he was very Nicolas Cage there at the very end, when he is in the car leaving, and we see why he had his favorite shirt seeing Mandy for the first time. He's hallucinating in his car, and he's all bloodied up, looking to the side, all with
Tripping
like
balls.
tripping balls, teeth just all showing, and eyes big and wide. Fucking great.
We did get the bloody faced Nicolas Cage meme from this, right? Like the picture of him like all crazy with the blood on his face. Like that was
Probably.
from this, right?
Probably.
Okay.
I believe so. Yes.
Like the like
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would have been that end scene. I believe.
yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
I mean,
what
I also
Oh, go ahead.
I also counted the Cheddar Goblin for the meme thing because
That
like
is a meme.
Yeah. There's a couple of memes in this movie. I send Nicolas Cage screaming on the toilet to people all the time.
you
Yeah,
would.
he downed that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was probably water, but he downed that vodka like almost instantly.
Oh yeah, he was chugging it. I mean, to be fair, again, he just watched his
Well, he was
Yes,
he was
yeah, oh
trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
make sure-
100%.
burn alive. Yeah.
He was trying to make sure that the insides where he got stabbed at got cleaned with the alcohol as well as the outside.
Yeah,
He splashes a little bit on the side and then chugs the rest
it
of it.
chugs half the bottle. Let's see, what else do I have here? I think that's everything.
I do know that there's the theory of the end scene is that he's dead, that he's died in the car, and that's why it looks like insane.
I think what I read on Wikipedia is that he is still tripping, and so like you're in his mind,
Right.
and you're seeing the landscape change because
Right.
he's still tripping balls,
Right.
and he's
I've
in
seen
that
one-
fantastical landscape.
Yeah, I've seen one where he was like, he was tripping balls, but also this is like him ascending to heaven
That's possible.
to see her again and stuff because he actually died because he didn't walk fast enough to get out of that fucking burning tunnel.
Well, there's that. Also, I mean, he never really took care of that wound. Pouring
Yeah.
alcohol on it
Yeah,
isn't going to stop it from bleeding. Internal bleeding is not going to stop. Like,
it makes me wonder if he like stitched it up and they just didn't show that scene. Like they
it's
got
possible.
edited out.
That's very possible.
Yeah.
Or his adrenaline could have been kicking enough to get done with business, kill Jeremiah, which him crushing his head, fuck yeah.
That was
Looked
fucking wicked.
awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was really cool.
And as soon as he was done, hey,
Yeah, just walks out.
Keel over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
either one works. Like, I'm not going to count it as a death because technically
We don't know.
We don't
yeah.
see it.
we don't know. It's indecisive.
Yeah. Speaking
Well, when they
of,
come out with Mandy 2 next year, we'll know.
Well,
yeah. Speaking of copious amounts of drugs, I also remember him chugging the LSD.
oh,
I don't
okay.
like. I know, like he sticks his finger in it and he like trips balls. But I also remember him taking it and then like chugging.
That's
it.
not him. That's the dude at the beginning of it.
No, I know,
what-
but I remember
okay.
him doing that in the house.
Oh,
And like that's why the rest of that's like one of the parts of the movie that explains why the rest of it makes absolute fucking bad
Yeah,
shit sense.
yeah, because he would
Yeah.
have so much in his system
Yeah,
that him just going there.
right. But oh no, because that would have been after the crash. That would have been after the crash. So yeah, I don't know. It's just weird.
I don't know.
I definitely remember him chugging it though.
I will say though, I did have a good time watching it. I did enjoy this movie.
it was. So there were times where like I was very distracted from what was going on, like especially throughout the first part of the movie because it was so
Agreed.
slow.
I will agree.
But once the action kicked in, like it was like.
Do you
all
watch
right.
a lot of? Do you watch a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies?
Me?
Yeah.
I've seen From Dusk Till Dawn and
right. So that
Reservoir
makes sense.
Dogs.
This movie was very much like a Quentin Tarantino speed like movie where it's like a really slow introduction and then shit picks up.
Slow burn, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That makes sense. That would make sense why you didn't really click with it that much. Like I've watched enough Tarantino movies to like understand the pacing of like what they're trying to do here. Yeah, because it's very much that vibe. That being said, give me the Elijah cut where they put in all of the extra stuff, like him stitching himself up and
Mandy actually walking out of the back of the house because everybody else thought she was in the bag, but she had just stuffed a doll and they thought it was her.
They were
I
all
really
drugs. She
remember her
wasn't,
not.
and she was just
Yeah.
like, "I don't know what you guys are doing." That's
Also, what? Okay,
a
so
scarecrow.
I get it that they like gave her the LSD eye drops or whatever. But what was the
scorpion
wasp
thing? Yeah, whatever that was. Well,
I remember in like grade school us talking about the fact that there were these like wasps that would sting you and you would like have hallucinogenic property. Like I remember that being a thing.
maybe that's what it was then.
Yeah, but like I think I always thought it was like urban legend. You know, it's like, oh yeah,
Well-
in Africa they have these big wasps that like when you stung them you trip balls and
well, keep in mind this is supposed to be taking place in the 80s, so
yeah, so that makes sense.
they could be thinking that they could,
Yeah.
because they're already on drugs, so they're probably like, "Here's a little extra kick," and really,
Fair.
it's just gonna kill you quick.
I love that they put one drop into her eyes and then the lady like sucked off the eyedropper and then they were
Yeah.
like, yeah, we wasted the last of our like our supply on you or whatever. It's like it was one drop. You had one drop left. That was it. Like I thought it was weird.
Well, they used the rest of them themselves, apparently.
Yeah. Is dropping it into the eye like a thing?
I feel like it goes
know.
quicker into your system.
I thought you were supposed to like ingest it, like eat it or whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
it
isn't
mixes with
it
your
normally like
saliva.
like don't they
Yeah,
normally
like
make like a tab
a
that you put on your
tab?
tongue?
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't know, druggies.
No, I
don't
know
do
that
drugs.
I know that they inject heroin into their eyeballs, but
And into their knife dick.
they inject knife dick into you. So Joey, what's our kill count?
Yes, our kill count. We've got a total of 13. We have 3 already dead. And we have lost limbs of Leather Daddy's head and Kinky Lady's head. And you can also throw in Jeremiah's head if you really want, because it got crushed. But,
Yeah,
I mean, that just got killed. So
wasn't fully removed.
it was not. The eyeball was removed, if you want to count that.
No, that's true.
That
Okay.
did pop out.
All right.
But yeah. Ron, bingo.
So this is gonna be a really short list.
Yeah, there really wasn't a lot.
We had implied nudity, villain monologue, animal cruelty, meme origin, and product placement.
I mean, we actually had
Actor
nudity.
playing himself?
Oh, I forgot about the actor playing himself.
Yeah. This was Nicolas Cage just being Nicolas Cage in a movie. Like,
Yeah, there really, and also wasn't implied nudity. I saw full on dick.
So that I wrote that down when she came out of the water, and all you saw was like to right here.
Oh, speaking of that scene, that reminded me of like she was coming out of the water and she had a very Carrie White look. Carrie from Carrie,
Yeah.
she had a very Carrie look coming out of that. I'm like, oh, it's kind of. Then her eyes also looked weird. Like one looked more, I don't know if it was dilated or just different. I don't know. Just something weird about her look when that happened too. Not like because of the scar, but just like the iris was different from one to the other. But yeah,
It might have been the way that the firelight was hitting her face too, though.
that's possible. But no, I thought that was interesting. But anyway, okay. Chuck, what do you got for
Spawn Cape? I mean, this movie isn't that old. 2018. I think visually this thing is a masterpiece. I think it looks awesome. The use of light is fucking cool. And more importantly, there's very little special effects. Or any CGI. It's pretty much like
practical.
The stuff that's there is like LSD trippy stuff. Like that's the only like CGI'd stuff.
We'll also keep this in mind. There's probably a lot of CGI in there that you don't realize is CGI because it's just that good. Chances are the house burning down or the church burning down, that possibly could have been CGI, only because
That's true.
where that church and that valley
Yeah.
looked very similar to the church and the valley in Midsommar.
Yes. Okay. So I thought the same thing, and I looked, and apparently it's not.
Okay,
But
I didn't think it was.
But they took a lot of the same style from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was, but like it had a lot of similarities. I'm like,
Yeah.
could it have been? But like those are some stuff that they could have used CGI on, and you wouldn't know, especially in 2018. Now, this is a very this didn't have a big budget. I think it was only like a $5 or $6 million budget. And I think it only made like 1.6 or 2.6 in theaters.
It had a limited release though.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
So, and then it became, I'll say, like it became like a cult classic. After like when it came on streaming and on the DVD market.
Well, and the merchandise for this movie was like there was a ton of merchandise for it. If you had to look for it, but it was there.
Okay.
Like they sold like his tiger shirt. There was like vinyls printed of the soundtrack. That was like really popular. Like they did, I think, like 5 different pressings because they kept selling them out. So
okay.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good movie, and it's definitely one that you could get more stuff from upon multiple viewings. So I don't know.
It is a shockingly rewatchable movie for the fact that of how like weird it is, because it is kind of like one of those movies you would expect it to be one of those movies where once you kind of know what's going on, it kind of kills the magic for you. You know what I mean? It's like when you know the plot twist, well then it kind of is like the rest of the movie's kind of lame, right? But I think that there's enough weird shit in this movie that rewatching it really makes it interesting.
Well, it's also very like this is 2018. By this point, we've had 2 John Wick movies, and you could argue that the back half of the movie, the second act and half of the second act and all the third act, is very John Wick-esque.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Did we ever get a score for that Spawn Cape though?
We did not. We went away from that. Sorry.
I'm gonna say 1 out of 125,000. I think it looks great. I think it still holds up. It's not that old, and I think it will hold up in time because I think they did enough crazy filter and lighting with the practical side of stuff that this movie will still look good 15, 20 years from now.
I can agree with that.
So we did technically have a boob count. There were 2 cartoon boobs.
Yeah,
that's true.
Unless we wanted to count Jeremiah's boobs, which were also out there, but
we did get 1 penis.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, we got 2 penises. One was just a knife.
And then the only way I think that I would like to watch this movie again is if the only person that wasn't a Muppet was Nicolas Cage.
Oh, 100%. This movie would be fucking wild if it was Nicolas Cage as a human.
Yeah,
and just tearing through puppets, like especially the chainsaw fight. For some reason, I just think that
would be amazing.
It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement on that one. Like that, there's no question.
I would like it to be him and her, or because then she's laughing at a Muppet's penis, which I think would be really funny.
But it would make sense her becoming Ash if she was a Muppet.
That's true too. I like the idea that you become Muppets only by the copious amount of LSD you do.
Ooh, okay.
So like everybody's
so, like,
human.
as he's going, he starts like changing into a Muppet.
He just becomes a Muppet. Yeah.
Okay, I can work with that.
Alternatively, if he is the only Muppet in the show, I would also watch it for that.
Right. All right.
Oh yeah, him killing humans would be really interesting as a Muppet.
I mean, I think there's been a movie out there with that. So not with him, Nick Cage, but yes, I would watch that too. All right. So on to our scores. Chuck, out of 10, what do you got?
All right. Well, more importantly, happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday to you, sir.
This was my pick. Funny enough, it was between this or Hobo with the Shotgun, which is hilarious because I had brought this up to a friend that I picked this movie, and they go, "Why didn't you pick Rock and Rule?" And I was like, "It didn't even come to my fucking brain." I'm making you guys have to finally watch Rock and Rule.
Hey, you got next year, buddy.
Yeah, I guess I gotta wait a whole year just to watch Rock and Roll again.
I mean, look, you picked this one because Wreck My Podcast.
Right, Wreck My Podcast. I recommended this like a gajillion every month on their Patreon, and they refused to watch it.
And look
I don't
at that.
know why. And now they're out of business.
You told me one time. I'm like, yeah, done. Look at that. And I'm like, I'm a good friend because I said yes.
That's true. You are.
Shout out to Jordan.
Shout out to the Ziegler. Look, I love this movie. It's fucking weird. This was a movie made for me. I love how it's shot. I think it is a beautifully shot and presented movie. It's Nicolas Cage being the most insane kind of Nicolas Cage outside of whatever that vampire movie was that he was in.
Renfield?
Is that what? No, the other one. When he's like super young and he thinks he's a vampire.
Oh. I don't remember which one that is.
Yeah, okay. Redfield's bad. Don't watch that movie.
What? That was fun. It was dumb. I liked it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This movie is a movie of like inspiration to me. Rewatching it again, I just got like a whole bunch of like really good artistic ideas that I want to play with, like with color from this movie and stuff like that. And fucking dick knife, man. There's a dude with a fucking knife for a dick. This movie was made for me. This shit means something to me, man. That being said, do I ever rank it in the top movies of all time? I don't know. Would I put this on and make fun of it with my friends? Absolutely. And then they're never gonna hang out with me ever again. Like without question, that would ruin Christmas for sure.
Chuck would wear a knife dick while watching this.
Oh, I would be one of the demon dudes for sure, with knife dick. I'm gonna go crazy and not remember what I gave all the other high things.
It's all good. You never do.
9.91.
Ooh,
this is almost a perfect movie to me.
I think that might be the highest score you've given anything.
I think so.
I couldn't remember what I gave Rogue One, but I think it was a 9.6, but I don't remember. But rewatching this was the fucking highlight of my weekend, man. This was awesome.
So, I mean, this being your second watch, did you like it better the second time?
Yeah, I liked it better the second time because I kind of remembered I remembered things that I liked. I saw things that I didn't remember from the first time watching it.
Okay.
That opening scene makes a lot more sense when you watch the rest of the movie and you go back to it. It makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
It's like the Jeremiah's cult is way more creepy the second time watching through when you know what they're capable of.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that scene when she's talking to her in the general store, comes off way fucking weirder when you know what she was capable of in the rest of the movie.
Gotcha. Oh, especially when later on when she's like, I'm empathetic and I've got my what do you say? I'm supposed to anticipate for my lover or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of this movie makes a lot more sense when you know it in context again. Okay. Give it a year. Do a rewatch, and it will be like, wow, this movie was fucking great. He is so smart for picking these. And I'll be like, you're right. It was.
All right. Freddie Mercury, what you got for your score?
It wasn't a bad movie. A lot of the trippy, like flopping back and forth was definitely made it hard for me to watch, mostly just for the flashing lights back and forth, because I was watching it like in the dark. So like it was,
Ooh, that's
extra.
probably hurting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we should actually probably put a warning on this that like if you are prone to seizures, this is not a movie for you.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, yeah.
That should definitely be something at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, they don't put that at the beginning
No,
of the
they
movie.
don't.
No, they don't.
No.
But like it wasn't a terrible movie. Like it was pretty good. It was very weird transitioning from the beginning of the movie to the second half of the movie, or like the second act or whatever you want to call it. Mostly because it just felt like the whole beginning of it felt like it was setting up for a different kind of movie. And then we got the phantasmagoria of LSD tripping nonstop violence, which was a lot of fun. Not gonna lie, like there was some pretty wild shit in there. Would I ever watch this again? Maybe if I was watching it with somebody that hadn't seen it, or very specifically if I was watching it with Chuck.
That's fair. That's super fair.
No.
That's super fair.
Yeah. Do a watch party in the year.
But I gave this a 5.67.
That's fair.
Because I probably, like I said, I probably would watch it again with somebody else. Like I would never just sit down by myself and watch it again. But I would actually probably watch it with somebody else just to watch somebody else's reaction to shit.
Oh yeah. Put this on for a slightly not like politically conservative, but like just like kind of a more reserved. yeah, just like a more like reserved person, and just watch them have to do a Joey and figure out why that man's ass was bloody.
Look, I do not know why I didn't put it together. Actually, I know why. I was just so busy.
Because Joey still calls prostitutes ladies of the night. That's why.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's true. You sweet innocent man.
I mean, I do that purposely because I know it pisses you off.
Because he gets slapped every time he says hooker or prostitute.
Yeah. Anyways,
Joey, what'd you give this, bud?
Like I said, I enjoyed. I really did enjoy this movie. I don't know the next time I will watch this movie because I do want to watch it again, knowing that now knowing, having finished it, knowing the next time, I will probably enjoy it more. I like Nicolas Cage. I do like his weird movies, and this was during a time where he was just doing weird shit.
Anything that got him a paycheck, he would.
Yeah,
take.
he needed a paycheck because he had a lot of financial problems at this point in time. He needed to pay off things.
But he has been on record saying this is his favorite movie. That he's like of that era. Okay. Yeah, of that area, this was his favorite movie to do.
Something I did for a Patreon over my other network is a movie called Pay the Ghost that he did in 2015. Mm-hmm. That one was one of his weird ones, which was a good concept, but had some poorly executed plot points. But it's part of that weird, like from like 2011 to like 2000 or like 2020 was just like that time of maybe 2019, because I feel like the one movie he did with Pedro Pascal was when like his switch of, hey, Nicolas Cage is awesome again, let's start putting him in movies that will give him great roles. Like that's when everything started going back up for upswing for him again. Like in that period of time, is just, he was just taking everything. He needed the money. This was a lot of fun. And like I said, though, even though the beginning was a little weird, I was trying to follow it. I was having a hard time. Now knowing what I know, a rewatch, I think I would understand it a little bit better, like you said, Chuck. Yeah. And I can compare it to John Wick, like I said, but that's not a bad thing because John Wick is a pretty good movie. This third act was really good. I really did enjoy it. It was bonkers and it worked. I did like this movie. Plus, they had the Cheddar Goblin. It was fun. Now I gave this a 7.34. It's I just had a lot of fun with this. That gives us a combined score of 7.64, which drops it in out of 155 movies at number 25. So in our
For a
definitely in our
non-comic book movie, that is a good spot.
definitely in our top fifth.
25.
Well, yeah, top 25, but the top fifth of it. Well, shut up. Is just behind Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero at a 7.67 and just above Aliens at a 7.58.
I did enjoy this more than Aliens, I think.
Yeah, same.
I think I did too.
Yeah, look, my last Hail Mary pitch here. If you've never seen this movie, go watch it. Listen to this review, then go watch it. If you love the Anthony Hopkins Titus Andronicus movie, then you'll fucking love this movie. If you've never seen the Anthony Hopkins Titus Andronicus movie, also go watch that because that thing is fucking insane.
No idea what that is.
Titus Andronicus is my favorite Shakespeare play,
Okay.
which is about a man descending into madness after they try to pretty much they kill his daughter, they kill his son, they exile his other son, they cut off the tongue and hands of his daughter and do just unspeakable things to like the family. And so he, in revenge, kills the evil queen's children and puts them in a pie and makes her eat it. It's fucking awesome. Yeah.
So that's where Cartman
listen,
got it. Okay.
I love revenge movies. Revenge movies are probably my favorite kind of genre of movie. I love John Wick. The only one I've never liked was Spit on Your Grave. If you've never seen that, don't watch it. It's really not good. There is like half the movie is just one long rape scene, and it is just brutal, and it doesn't balance out. Like the revenge like fights that she does, like the things that she does to get back at them is brutal, but it also like for how long you have to sit through literally half of the movie watching her just get assaulted is so rough and graphic that like the back half of the movie is just like, yeah, it's great that she finally got her revenge, but man, this is hard to watch. This whole thing was hard to watch. Yeah, I did not enjoy that movie. But everything else, any other revenge movie? John Wick, this, Titus Andronicus, hell yeah, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I love them. Also, go watch Rock and Rule. Okay. Anyway, you can find me on the internet. Come talk. Hey, come chat me up about this movie and how much you love it. Kicked Out of the Hood, No Eating Kicks. You can find my hobby page where I am. I don't know, man. I've got only about 147 projects, and I've lost one piece of my rug. Hey, maybe by the time this episode drops, I have found that piece of my rug.
You're gonna step on it tomorrow, and it's gonna get stuck in your foot through your sock, and that's how you're gonna find it.
Listen, I'll take it. I don't give a shit. At this point, as long as I find it. You can find my hobby page on Instagram, Kicked Out of the Hobby, No Eating Kicked. And more importantly, at the end of the month, the last Sunday of every month, you can find me and Joey getting franchised, the latest and greatest in movie franchises, where we review 2 movies. Look, hey, guess what? Just to get you a little hyped, we got season 2 already figured out, planned out. We're wrapping up season 1 here. We're only a few months away, I believe, from wrapping it up. At time of release of this, you are gearing up to listen to us talk about Dawn of the Dead, I believe.
Yep.
Which the original 1980 something and the 2004 Zack Snyder release. It's the only Zack Snyder movie I've pretty much ever liked.
But did we get a Zack Snyder cut of it?
No, because they kind of just let him do his thing, I guess, or something. I don't know. It is weird that we've never gotten that release. That and 300. 300 is the other one that they've never released a Zack Snyder cut. That's also my other favorite Zack Snyder movie. And that's where the list stops.
That makes sense.
Because he didn't do Sin City, despite how many times I think that he did Sin City. So,
that was Michael Rodriguez, wasn't it?
Robert Rodriguez.
Or Robert, yeah,
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, and Frank.
Michael Rodriguez is a friend of ours.
Yeah, and Frank Miller, but doesn't get credit for it. There's like a big whole story behind that. Anyway, yeah, man, check us out. Getting franchised at the end. In season 2, man, I'm hyped. I'm hyped about season 2. You should be hyped too. Ronald, where can they find you?
You can find me on the internet on Instagram and TikTok and Blue Sky at Good at This Game. You can find my art on Instagram at Good Art This Game. You can find it also on our shirts on Redbubble and TeePublic, like the shirt that I have on right now.
Hey, that's a Getting Franchise shirt.
Yeah.
That's the one you were on, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to explain the shirt to Charity today.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah. Obviously, somebody doesn't listen to our show, but it's okay.
Not a real fan.
Not a real fan. I mean, she has had one of the original stickers on her car since we started. So
yeah. Well, I mean, we were recording in the house for a while, so
that's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, Joey, where can they find you at, bud?
Yeah, you guys did. My mouth just stopped working for a second. What the hell? You guys can find the show on the social media, Comic Book Rundown. You can email us, comicbookrundown at gmail.com. Rate and review us on your podcasting app of choice. You can find us on YouTube at Comic Book Rundown. You can, if you do rate and review us, or if you email us, we'll read it on an upcoming episode. We've got merch, like Ron said, over on Redbubble and TeePublic. Wait, did you actually say that? You just got merch.
Yes.
I think you just said we had merch. Whatever. What else do we have? Oh, you can. Our song was done by Cam.
Yep.
Song was done by Cam.
Cameron.
And what's our next movie?
Yeah.
Our next movie, Joey. What's our next movie?
Pretty sure my next movie is going to be a strike. We're going to be watching
Star Trek.
No.
Oh.
Die or Darkman 3, Die, Darkman, Die.
Oh man, yikes! All right,
1996. So look, we gotta get through it. Okay.
So this was the one that they shot at the same time that they shot the second one.
That's
Okay.
yep. And they told what's his name, Durant, the guy who played Durant, that he was gonna be in the third one, but then they're like, nope, JK, LOL.
That's fucked. Is what's his face in it?
Arnold Vosloo. Yeah, he's in this one. He's playing
Imhotep. Thank you. I wanted to say Harambe, and I knew that wasn't right.
No, Harambe was only in for one shot.
And we're done. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, Scuba Doo!